Hey guys, so this is the next part of the column building. Now that I've got my bowls painted and cut out, we can move on to excuse me. We can move on to the column. Next part of the columns. So now the bowls have been cut out and painted. We can now cover up cover into a new video. So the first thing I did, I've already went to Home Depot. I've got the materials. I got the materials. I got the paint. So my next part is, you want to get you a 4-inch pipe PVC. Now the only ones I've seen 4 inches down there at Home Depot were these corrugated pipes. I looked for smooth. They didn't have a smooth in there. So this is what I'm talking about on here. This right here, this is your pipe. This is your PVC pipe. And you want this 3 feet tall. This whole thing is going to be 5 foot. Roughly, maybe a little over 5 foot. So, these are your bowls. This is your platform that the pipe sits on. This is just another box up top, just to give it something. I have 3 cobras, 3 scarabs. And now, this is what they turned out to be. It's pretty difficult to paint on a round pipe. So these are my round pipes. I got my cobras in there and my scarabs. I went to Walmart and got the colors for it. There's some onks on there. There's some eyes of raw. There's triangles, some stripes, some scarabs, some vipers, some cobras. These pipes were spray painted gold. I found some cheap gold paint, because gold paint's really about $6 or $7. It was found for about $3 something. Spray paint your pipe first, then get your pencil out or your Sharpie and draw out the whole entire thing. Go over it with green paint. You need some colors. So I picked some greens up, I picked some reds up, I picked some purples, some oranges. I got some black, some pink, orange, light blue, and then just paint on it. Just paint on it. It takes about 40 minutes to paint a pipe. Took me 40 minutes to paint each pipe. So my next step is I'm going to get the box built. Get the boxes built. And that will be my next step. Then I'll go and paint it, and then the final video I will get up there and put the boxes together, and I'll show you the final video. So anyway, yeah. My next project in the scene is the Egyptian wall. The wall's going to tell the story on how the mummy died. It's going to tell the story and everything. How the mummy died. There'll be some Egyptian symbols, some writing in Egyptian, and so on. Then I can move on to stuff like the animatronics. Later on in the year, do some 3D printing. Put this whole Egyptian scene together. So there will be more videos out coming soon. So anyway, yeah, the next video is putting the box together. And then we place it all together at once. So that's it. Have a good week. Alright guys. So this is the box. This is the box that I came up with for those pillars, those columns. This is just a normal box. And this is going to be how tall this box is going to be. Let me get a tape measure. Hold on. Get me a tape measure. Where in the blazes is one? Ah. Here we go. Box in that is about little. Box should be about 11, close to a foot. A little shy of a foot, about over a quarter, about 11 and a little over 11 inches. So this is the box that it sits on. Just some normal cheap wood that you pick up at the store, at the thing, at Home Depot. This is just some of the stake wood that was picked up. Yeah, just put that right there. Then we'll cover it up. See. Yeah, it'll be about a foot long, foot wide. So it's about a foot wide, foot by wide. And then we're going to put some plywood on each corner. And then put your bowl on top on a platform. There'll be a piece of wood sitting on top of here. No, baby girl. And then there'll be some wood sitting here. Well, I'll paint it. I'll paint with some gold paint. This is, what is it? This is PBG metallic tones gold base. It had to be tinted. This is just little paint that was picked up. I'll see you in the morning, baby girl. Alright? Little sisters. Always looking for love. A word of caution, a word to everybody. Love your little sister if you got one. Love your little brother. Because they are your best friends. So let's get back to saying what I was doing. Yeah, this would be covered up on a base. This would be based. This was drywall screws, 1 and 5 inch and 5/8. They're number 2 Phillips heads. Cut your wood, drill your pilot holes, and so on. So anyway, next thing I'm going to do is build 5 more of these boxes. Have the wood cut out, and then we can paint and put the piece together. So that's it. See you in the next part of the video. Alright guys. Welcome. I know it's been a long time since I stopped on this, but this is the next part in these column buildings for Halloween time. Now, I've got the boxes put together. They're a foot tall, and this is what I came up with. I came up with, but I had some help with Dad. This is what came up with. These are all 6 boxes. These are all 6 of the boxes. Yeah. All 6 boxes are here. These are going to be a foot tall each. And up top on here on the deck, I just call it the deck. The pipe will be sitting up here. We're going to cut a little hole up top. We're going to cut a hole top. We're going to bracket it. And next we're going to put the coverings on here. We'll put coverings on here. I've already got the coverings cut out with Dad's help. Let me bring it up to you. This right here, this is a 48 by 47 inch sheet of a panel. excuse me. This panel is what's going to be placed on the box. These are all placed on a grid. All these grids are 1 by 1. So on these grids, we're going to take these squares and we're going to drill and place them on the piece. That will cover up these holes and stuff. That will make them a surface. And then I'll paint them with this. And bring it out. This is a special paint that I picked up at Home Depot. This is PPG metallic tones, and it's a gold base paint. It's already been colored, and this is the finish you get with a little help from a rattle can. So moving on, we also need a box up top and to be covered, and this is what was used. Bring them up. These are these cheap fence board. These are these fence board woods, redwood. I only had these. I've already painted them with that color in a rattle can. And that's that. Well, before I do anything, we have to move on to also color work. And give me a few seconds and if I don't fall, I'll take you to it and I'll show you a box that's already been done. Give me a few seconds. Alright. Back in the house. So this is the next thing that needs to be done to this. This is just ancient artwork that the Egyptians used in their tombs. And since this is a snake dynasty, I painted a giant snake. In ancient Egypt, they had hieroglyphs. Instead of our letters being A, B, C, their letters were also A, B, C, but they had pictures in hieroglyphs. Now, if you search in ancient hieroglyph letters, you can see each layer of the ancient hieroglyphs. Some of their hieroglyphs were kind of interesting looking. There were birds, I think. There were waves. There were feather looking things. Domes. Pretty stuff. The Egyptians left a mark on here. Left the mark. This is written in ancient Egypt. So it makes sense that you go to each layer to me, and it makes a letter. This is what I wrote in ancient Egypt using those letters. It spells enter, go on there, and the snake continues on. Continue on, it says here. Continuing on, stakes still there. You. Die. So pretty much, in ancient Egypt, they would write messages that were warnings in the thing. In the shows. They would write messages and stuff. Each one has a different, will have a different message on the boxes and different artwork. Since this is a warning, the snake is an animal from ancient Egypt of death. The scarabs are an animal of death. So it was always sensible to make one that makes one here to warn you that if you enter here in this tomb, you'll die. You see, in the tomb, the Egyptians wrote very different symbols, wrote very different things in there. And we don't know what they wrote. So anyway, yeah. 5 other boxes. So pretty much now, all I gotta do now is end it. And that will be so. So this will be the last video for this. And I'll do the next part after I get the boxes put on the squares. So thank you for watching this video.